Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Vincent. Today I am going to show you how I usually color grade my videos and just overall the workflow that I kind of follow, but not really, because I actually don't have a certain style of color grading that I am applying to all my clips, because I didn't quite develop that yet, but I'm still working on my color grading and I'm trying to get better at it. I am not a professional colorist by any means. I am actually pretty bad at color grading in my opinion, but I'm just trying to tell the story with my color grades, if that makes any sense. So I am trying to create color contrast in my shots, so you can tell what is the subject of the clip and what is like just the environment that the subject is in. So for that I usually use LUTS because they help my workflow a lot, and they actually allow me to be much faster in color grading. But on more professional videos I don't use LUTS because they don't allow you that much to, play around with the settings. They just give like an overall look to your shot. So I have 3 clips on my timeline. The first one is me following a person very low to the ground. The second one is me orbiting around some leaves, and the third one is me taking a photo. So I think I'm going to try some different LUTs on each clip and try to decide what looks best on them, but I am actually going to try to use the same LUT on these 3 clips and go into the settings after I pick the LUT, because as you can see that these 3 clips are pretty similar because they were taken at the same place, so I want them to look very similar to each other. So I don't want one of them to have a teal and orange color grade, and I don't want the other one to have like a very natural one. So I want them to actually match. Just like I said, I'm going to try some different LUTs on each one and then decide what LUT I actually want to use for the starting point of my color grading. So as you can see, this unitone one looks pretty good on this one. It's kind of like a travel film look, because as you can see the background is super desaturated and the subject, that is me, is quite saturated because we humans have a skin tone that is pretty unique and not very often found in the nature. So in this case I think it looks very good if we are looking at the whole background separation thing and the color contrast, but I wouldn't necessarily use this one just because it feels like it's I don't know, it feels like it's very depressed or kind of weird scene, but it looks good, I mean, but I just wouldn't really like to use it on this one because the whole tone of this video is going to be like very happy and uplifting, and I don't want the color grading to be very depressing. I mean, it's not the right word for it probably, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to pick another one. So this Aspen LUT looks pretty cool on this, in my opinion, because it still desaturates the background a little bit, so it's not that vibrant and green anymore. It's kind of like a more darker green and bluish look, but the subject, that is me, is popping very good from the background again because of the orange skin tones. So I think this looks very good on this clip, so I'm probably going to stick with this one and then try to apply the same LUT to the other clips as well, and then go into the more advanced settings that actually are not a lot in Final Cut. So I would not really use Final Cut for color grading in more professional videos. Like I would probably use DaVinci Resolve because that gives you a lot more options, but for just normal B-roll I'm okay with Final Cut. So now I'm going to apply it to the other ones. So as you can see on these two it doesn't really look good at all, so I'm probably not even going to use this LUT because it's just horrible. I mean, look at that grass, it's like from Chernobyl, or I don't know, it doesn't look good at all. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to apply my LUT Punch, because it gives the footage a very good like summer vibe, and it's very vibrant and saturated, so I think it looks good on these two clips. But on this one, I don't know, I'm probably just going to leave it like this. So these first two clips are like a very you know, summer vibe and saturated look, but the third one is going to be more of a unique looking one, and I'm actually okay with that. So for example, if I would use this third unique one on a beat drop or where something unusual happens in the music, then it's gonna actually suit my whole video. So yeah, it's just all about creative choices. But now I'm actually going to go into the color grading tab and then create an S-curve to give it a little bit of a more contrasty look, because that's my style. And I'm going to actually lower the saturation a little bit on the midtones because I don't want it to be super saturated. And now I'm okay with this clip. So in my opinion, it looks decent. I'm actually very happy with this one. So that is my general workflow. On this one I wouldn't even go into the settings because it looks just good for my taste, and on this one I would probably create an S-curve again in the exposure, and maybe lower the saturation a little bit on the shadow, and put a little bit more of a green tint to the whole image. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty happy with this small B-roll sequence, and I think it looks good. Like, honestly, this is probably as much time as I would actually spend on color grading my B-rolls. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you maybe even found it helpful. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it and ask your questions in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye!